But these gentlemen decided the future of our land by themselves. They haven't consulted us. They even gave a piece of land to an Armenian guy because he used to work for them in the business oil. Until now, it is called the neutral zone. It belongs to nobody. We all know how the oil is important for the industrialized nations. It is now a very important nerve of the international business. We are not against using this oil, the wealth coming from the oil, to develop ourselves. But what's going on is that, first of all, the Arab countries are divided. Those who get the money from the oil are not those who suffer from the repercussions of this oil. Second, every time the oil producers accumulate certain amount of money, the day after, somebody come to them and say, look, we will sell you some weaponry for $60 billion or $50 billion. And then this is a vicious circle in the area where the whole wealth coming from selling the oil is spent on developmental business. This money is not used to develop the economies of the area, is not used to develop the education system or the social system, but rather to be spent on something that we don't need in the area. Why should we buy $100 billion weaponry every year? What for? We need a settlement to our disputes. We don't need creation of disputes in the area. So oil is a big problem, and Syria is not an oil producer. I mean, we are not like Kuwait or Saudi Arabia or Iraq. We have a small amount of oil, enough to our local consumption. But we are not an oil producer. I mean, we don't get money from selling oil. I mean, a very small amount of money.
Questions? Yes, sir.
Could you explain, from the Syrian point of view, its relationships with three countries, and that would be Iraq, Lebanon, and Jordan?
Let me start with Iraq. Iraq is very close to our heart. We attempted many times to strike a union deal with Iraq. Syria and Iraq wanted many times to unite together. The last attempt was done on 1979. We almost struck a deal, and we agreed on everything. At that time, Iraq used to be ruled by a president, the President al-Bakr, and Syria used to be ruled by the late President Hafiz Assad. They struck a deal at the Syrian-Iraqi border. Actually, that was in Baghdad itself. Saddam Hussein was at that time vice president. And Saddam had his own vision of Iraq. He didn't want to strike a union deal with Syria. But he didn't declare it. After our president left Baghdad, and I still remember at that time I was a young junior diplomat, we got instructions from our ministry saying that arrange with your Iraqi colleagues so that you choose the best embassy of the two embassies, the best of the two embassies, the best of the two residences of the ambassadors, We went so far, and we got instructions to do so. That means we were very close to make union with Iraq. Our president left Baghdad the day after Saddam gathered all those who were in favor of the unity with Syria, and he killed them with his own hands. He took them outside of a hall, a meeting, and he assassinated them with his own guns. So the whole project collapsed. And then, from that time, Syria closed its embassy in Baghdad. The Iraqis closed their embassy in Damascus, and until the American occupation of Iraq. Last year, we reopened our embassy. Why I'm saying this? At that time, we tried with Iraq to fill the vacuum created by Egypt after the Camp David Accords with Israel. Egypt was out of the Arab-Israeli conflict, so we decided to strengthen our force by creating a new political and military strong country, united country, out of Iraq and Syria to fill the vacuum created by Egypt. It didn't fly. But the background of this relationship between Syria and Iraq has a historical dimension also, because long time ago, almost 30 years after Prophet Muhammad passed away, the Arabs founded the first Caliphate, Umayyad Caliphate in Damascus. Caliphate means an empire, if you want, something like this. Caliphate means successor of the Prophet. But it used to be a huge empire. Damascus at that time was the capital of a big empire starting from Morocco up to China. Damascus was the capital of this big empire. It survived, this empire survived almost 119 years. Then it collapsed. It collapsed and was replaced by another empire, which is called Abbasid Caliphate. And Baghdad was the capital of this new empire. So you see the background. The balance of power shifted from Damascus 1400 years ago to Baghdad. Then, along the history, the same balance of power used to shift once from Baghdad to Damascus, and then from Damascus to Baghdad. It's a conflictual relationship between the two countries, but conflictual politically speaking. It's not about wars between the two countries. Lebanon. And a final word on Iraq. We condemned the American-British occupation of Iraq. And we are still saying that this war is wrong. And that the American values are badly implemented in Iraq. And that the occupation of Iraq is giving a wrong picture of USA all over the world. We are still keeping the same stand. We haven't changed our mind. And this is why we have problems with the American administration. This is why they accuse us of letting these so-called infiltrators go through our border into Iraq, etc., etc.
But you should thank your stars that you are only a rogue state, because you are not empire of evil, at least. So you should praise God for the fact that you are only a rogue state.
Well, alhamdulillah, thanks God. Thanks God. No, I mean, we are not a superpower. We are a small country. We cannot control Iraq. Iraq is twice the size of Syria. We cannot be present in Iraq. We cannot control everything in Iraq. the